Hi everyone, how are you doing?
Good.
Good, awesome, all right, awesome, cool. My name is Drew and I'm here to share a little bit about my passion. I'm passionate about a couple different things, music, worship, identity. But if you look behind me, I labeled my passion speech, Who Am I? And this is the question that I asked myself for a long time. Who am I? Who am I? And I'm going to share a little bit about my testimony. I was born in Lancaster, California, and before all of that, let's rewind a little bit. My mother was 13 years old when she was pregnant with me and had me when she was 14. And she was actually raped, and she was faced with this decision: do I want to keep this child? Do I want to have him? And a lot of it was no. A lot of what she was getting was, I don't want him. I don't. I don't. This isn't what I asked for. This isn't what I wanted. I didn't plan this, and she was young, and so obviously we can see that she didn't move forward with that because my grandmother, decided, hey, you know what, you have him, I'll raise him, I'll take care of him, I'll be a mom to him, and you don't have to worry about this, you don't have to carry this burden. And so my mom agreed, and when I was about a year old, my mom actually came back for me. She took me away from my grandparents, and that's when I moved to another part of California, Rialto. And so while I was living there, my mom was with this guy who was very abusive, and I lived there for a couple of years, and he was just very abusive physically, emotionally, sexually, and it was a really hard time for me. And this is where I kept asking myself, even at a young age, like, who am I? My mom wasn't ever really there, and I knew that this guy wasn't my father. So who am I? Where did I come from? Who do I belong to? Am I just a mistake? Because as I was getting older, I was starting to hear these things, or you're just a mistake, or you're just, I would get belittled and stuff. And when I was about between 5 or 7 years old, there was a incident that happened where my stepdad hit me in my head like really hard, and there's a scar there, as you guys can see. But I told my mom about it after he was away. He went away for a little bit. I told her about it, and we ran away, and we moved here to Las Vegas. And so that's how I ended up here. And when I came here, I thought the cycle was over. I thought, okay, we have a new life, but it didn't. She continued to see abusive men, and the abuse kept going on until finally, when I was 16 years old, I came to the International Church of Las Vegas. And this is where I was struggling with just, depression, anxiety, identity. And around that time, I had actually just got taken out, put into a foster care home, something like that, and the parents actually came to ICLV. So I struggled with atheism. I was like, okay, if there's a God, why would he allow this to happen? Why would he allow me to be molested or abused or any of these things, if there's a God? And then as I started pursuing the Lord, as I started coming to church, I then became agnostic because I started really feeling something different in worship. As I was worshiping, I started to feel the presence of God come on me. And so it's like, okay, so there's obviously a God, there's a God, And it was here at ICLV that someone was leading Your Love Never Fails. And that's where like my heart just really started to stir up, and I really just started to feel the presence of God. And like, for whatever reason, right there and then, I knew, like I felt like I was encountering him, like he was there. And they had an altar call, and I came up to the front, and I got saved. I accepted Jesus into my heart, but I was still struggling with identity. Who am I? And as time went by, the Lord just started revealing to me, you're a child of a holy nation. You're not just a mistake. You're not just this, person that wasn't planned. Like, I've planned you. I've destined you for greatness from the very beginning. And so he just started like affirming me and just lifting me up and encouraging me. And so for me personally, identity is something big, because before I was atheist and agnostic and rejected and running from these things because I didn't know who I was. I didn't know that someone cared for me. I didn't know that someone had a plan for my life. I didn't know that I belonged. And as I was encountering the Lord and pressing into him, he just started showing me, like, you belong, you're mine, and I love you. And so yeah, I mean, I can go on more about it, but it's really, really long. So I'm just gonna end here and just tell you guys that you guys have a plan, and God has a plan for your life. And if you don't know who you are, I just really want to encourage you to just really press into the Lord and just really press into reading the Word, finding out who you are, finding out your history. And I just really feel like that'll help you find your identity. So my name is Andrew Lemus, and that is who I am.